phone number to call, so you'll be able to do all that. And we really appreciate that anybody does call. So we're going to open it up today with flag salute. We're going to do the flag salute, and please understand nobody's standing, but no disrespect involved. Just what we have to put up with for right now. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I get a roll call for tonight, please?
All right, Commissioner Blakely.
Here.
Commissioner Bradley.
Here.
Commissioner Halley.
Here.
Chairman Mobley.
Here.
Vice Chair Rogers.
Here.
Commissioner Seitz.
Here.
And Commissioner Wells.
Here.
All right. So let's get approval of the minutes from the July 13th meeting.
I'll make the move that we approve the minutes as submitted.
Second.
All right, roll call vote. Commissioner Blakely.
Yes.
Commissioner Bradley.
Yes.
Commissioner Halley.
Yes.
Chairman Mobley.
Yes.
Vice Chair Rogers.
Yes.
Commissioner Seitz.
Yes.
And Commissioner Wells.
Yes.
So we're going to open it up to public comment. Members of the public may be heard on any item of interest not on the agenda. Speakers addressing the commission will be held to about 3 minutes or so. Please be advised, by law, the commission cannot take any action or deliberation on any issue that is presented during oral comment. So that this time, this is when Katie's gonna put up all the information, and here's how you get it done. So we'll give you some time. Katie will let us know if anything's going on. If we hear from anybody. I think this is the most business we've had in a while.
It looks like we do have a public comment.
Oh, good.
We have Danny Kelly on the line if he would like to speak.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm just checking in to let everybody know I'm the new interim executive director for the Fortuna Business Improvement District. I'm temporarily holding a position here while the bid finds a replacement for outgoing director Diana Rios. And just letting the commission know that I'm here and that I'm interested in participating in planning commission meetings to help guide future businesses that come to Fortuna into plans that fit with the city of Fortuna. So that's all. Thank you for your work on this committee.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Got anything else, Katie? Okay, looking forward.
I'll make the motion that we close public comment at this time.
I'll second that.
All right, let's move on to business at hand. So first thing we have on. Sorry. Okay, so consideration of an 18-month extension of the Fritz subdivision map, planning development of the 12.9 acres in size into 56 residential parcels, ranging in size from 1,632 to 1,972 square feet in an open space parcel. So Liz, can we get a little background on that, please?
Yes, good evening, everybody. Thank you, Chairman and Planning Commissioners. So this first agenda item is a request to extend a subdivision approval. It's for the Fitzy subdivision and plan development. That's about a 13-acre site, creating 56 residential parcels. It's located off of Redwood Way, just south of the Redwood Memorial Hospital. And it was considered by the Planning Commission on June 25th, 2019. On major subdivisions, the Planning Commission makes a recommendation to the council, and the council did approve this subdivision on July 15th, 2019. So we can look at the map shortly, and the conditions of approval. I think I emailed them to you today. The intent was that they would be in the packet, but somehow they slipped out. They magically slipped out of the final report. So I was able to email those to you today. You did consider this also about a month ago, the amended CEQA document. So you did have an overview. That project was modified to include a gravity sewer and eliminating the pressure sewer. So fortunately, we're able to have a review of that subdivision at that time. So normally subdivision maps, they get approved by the planning commission or the council, and then they go through a process where the public improvements, roads and utilities and such are installed. And then the final map gets brought forward by the surveyor, and then that gets recorded. So the project is currently in the improvement plan construction phase, and you may have seen that. You may have seen the construction activity driving by, on Redwood Way. If you look to the right, it's kind of down a little road, but it looks really great. They do have building permits. Normally they're not, normally the parcels get created first, but the city issued conditional building permits for some of the structures where they don't get a certificate of occupancy until the map gets recorded. So that's why you see the houses under construction, but it does look really great. And staff, we've had the opportunity to, survey or visit the site, and really they're doing a wonderful job, and it's going to be an amazing residential neighborhood for the future occupants. So the map, all of the map regulations are governed, most of them are governed by the California Subdivision Map Act. It's very detailed. And what we're dealing with right now is the extension. So under the Map Act, maps are approved initially for a period of 2 years, and then they can expire. But the Map Act also says that cities and counties have to include extensions for at least up to 5 years. And then our local ordinance is allowed to kind of determine what time periods within those 5 years the applicant has to come forward with requests for an extension. The Fortuna Municipal Code requires 18-month extensions. So that provides, that the extra 5 years, the 2 years plus the 5 years, that's called the map life. And it allows the developer the time to, get the financing, get the improvement plans drawn up, do the improvement activities, and then time to get the map surveyed and drawn up and recorded. So, obviously it's a very detailed, expensive undertaking. I always feel like subdivisions are not for the faint of heart. They're very costly and stressful for, even seasoned developers. But this one, they're doing a really good job, and they have a lot of good professionals doing all of that work. So, the 7-year period does allow them to do all of that. And so this is the first extension request. And the request is, under the municipal code for an 18-month extension period. They have been moving forward diligently, making the improvements. And so the considerations by the planning commission, or the approving body, that's also dictated by the Subdivision Map Act. And basically it says that granting an extension is discretionary. So the discretion is limited to the time frame. So So normally that means that we can't add arbitrary conditions. So we can't say, you know, we changed our mind and now we want you to add this other road or upgrade the improvements. You know, really that that period has passed, that opportunity has passed. So we can't add any arbitrary conditions. If we did, they would need to be related to like health and safety issues. So something has come up and, you know, maybe we've noticed a health and safety issue and we need a bigger road. So it really has to be tied to something, health and safety. And also it needs to be agreed upon by the developer. If they don't agree with it, then the planning commission would have to disapprove or deny the extension. And then they would have to reapply for their subdivision. So that's kind of just the background under which, or the framework under which you would make your decision. Staff does not believe that there are any circumstances that would warrant a change in conditions for the project, and staff recommends that the extension be approved. And just to let you know, the public improvements that are underway now, they have been diligently inspected by the Public Works Department, by the city engineer. And so, you know, every step of the way, he's out there checking grades and checking elevations and the depth of utilities, making sure that, you know, because those are going to become public improvements. So just making sure that they're, you know, there's enough compaction and base and coverage and all of those things. So, so the engineering department as well agrees with in the work that's being done and doesn't recommend any changes to the conditions. So with that, I will pass it back to the planning commission. I do have a little table in the staff report that does show the allowable extensions through those 7 years. Actually, I do have just one overhead here. Let's see, I didn't share that. Just as a refresher or a frame of reference, I'm just going to project the tentative map that was approved. So Redwood Way is in, let's see, let me go to the large view. So this is the aerial view. The hospital is down at the bottom. That little corner is Redwood Way. And then there's a new road that has mostly been constructed, extending from Redwood Way to the project site. And then this is a tentative map. We've got Redwood Way up in the upper right corner. And you can see the roadway and the lots. This is a planned development. So each of those squares indicates a separate parcel that would be under separate ownership, and then the surrounding area will be open space. Strong's Creek is at the north, and this is, I think it's Mill or Jameson, one of the secondary creeks. And then the hospital is in the lower right. So with that, I will pass it back to the Planning Commission for your consideration.
Thank you, Liz. Hey. All right. Anybody have any questions for Liz? No. Okay, so here and now we're going to open up the public comment on this. So again, Katie's going to flash a bunch of information, same information that was up there before. Want to hear about it, talk about it? Please do. While we're waiting, anybody have anything they want to say about it?
Yeah, I'll just add that a map extension like this is normally really, it's almost an administrative procedure, unless there's some drastic changes, like I said, that would warrant, you know, additional conditions or any other changes. So, you know, I think this one it's a large subdivision, but I think it's fairly straightforward, and they've done all of their investigative work and surveying and you know, the improvement plan design and construction. So this is pretty much an administrative process.
Liz, can you unshare your screen, please?
Yeah.
Do have a public comment. It looks like Danny Kelly has raised his hand again. He has a comment.
Sorry to take up time, but yay for more housing.
Yes,
Let's bring it, please.
yes, Fortuna we're doing our part. So we'll bring
And
in
it's
56.
gorgeous too. It's gonna be beautiful.
Yes.
All right, looking for a anybody else? Okay, looking to close public comment. Need a motion.
I move that we close public comment.
I'll second.
All right. Okay, so back to you folks. Anything anybody want to bring up about all this? We're looking for a motion.
I'll make the motion to adopt resolution number P-2021-3068. A resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Fortuna approving an 18-month extension for the Fitzy subdivision map.
I second that.
Okay, Katie, you get it.
All right, roll call vote. Commissioner Blakely,
Yes.
Commissioner Bradley,
Yes.
Commissioner Hallie,
Yes.
Chairman Mobley,
Yes.
Vice Chair Rogers,
Larry, your speaker's off.
Yeah, sorry about that. That's a yes for me.
Commissioner Sights,
Yes.
and Commissioner Wells.
Yes.
Right. Thank you, everybody. Let's move on to number 2. Public hearing, consider recommendation to the city council for a zoning amendment for 6 parcels from residential estates to residential single family, and a general plan amendment for the residential very low to low. Okay, sounds like we need a whole bunch of background on this one.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman Mobley. So this is an ordinance to amend the zoning code, as you stated in the title, and amend the general plan. And I will go ahead and give a visual to go back through this. So this is the city zoning map for the site. The proposed zoning applies to 6 parcels. This is Hilltop Drive, which is off of Strawberry Lane and North Loop Road, and you can see a portion of.
We can't see.
Oh, I didn't click the sharing button. Oh, darn it.
We can see you.
Darn Zoom. It's always something. Here we go. Okay, let's see. Now you can see it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Up it went. There you go.
So, so the proposed zoning is for these 6 parcels that are delineated here. This is actually the general plan map. So there will be a general plan amendment. We've got North Loop Road, and this is the county, but Newburgh Park is just to the north of this. Ruinerville Road, North Loop Road, and Strawberry Lane. So this is Hilltop Drive, and this is the area where there's the construction of those 60, 63, 65 lots. So we've got more housing coming in there. And let's see. So what instigated this is one of the property owners up there. There was one vacant parcel on Hilltop. It's an older area of houses that were built, I think in the 50s or 60s. And they are actually not on city sewer. So So this parcel wasn't able to develop until it merged. The property owner had to buy both parcels and then they merged into one so that they were able to get approval of a septic system from the county. So normally the county doesn't like to approve them on smaller lots because the leach field and the setbacks are difficult to maintain. So they did merge the parcels and they've got an approved permit for that leach field, and they actually have a single family residential permit that could be issued, but they made a change. Instead of the garage on the side yard here, the covered parking is required by the Fortuna Municipal Code. They're putting a carport in the back. So these 6 lots have what's called a split zoning. So the front of the parcel is in the R16 zone, which has a smaller setback, but the rear, and I'll show you the map momentarily, the rear is in the RE20 residential estates zone. So the larger setbacks would apply, and they would have less usable space. And we wanted to support them in creating the setbacks that are uniform, that are already existing in that neighborhood. And the zoning goes back, the split zoning was created when that area was annexed. And we're not really sure why. I think that, some of these, there's a little bit of a slope here. And so it may have been due to the hillside nature of some of the lots, but I'll show you why I don't think that's valid in these cases. So let's see. So these are the zoning standards that apply for the R16 zone, which is what they're in now. The side setback, or I'm sorry, the front of their parcels are in this R16 zone. 20 feet in the front, 5 feet on the side. So what they're really seeking is a 5-foot setback, which is standard for for a 6,000 square foot lot. Standard for the R16 zone, which is all over the city. Most, the lower of the parcels do have R16. In fact, the new subdivision to the west has this R16 zoning as well. The RE20 has a much larger setback. It's 15 feet on the side, 35 feet, combining two side setbacks, and 30 feet in the rear, 30 feet in the front. So that's what instigated this rezone. And they, in fact, did submit a zoning application. And we reviewed, the request, and staff feels that, we would like to clean up the setbacks and the zoning for all 6 of the parcels that are along that stretch. And these are the 6 parcels. Number 4 here, that is the parcel with the building permit and the request for the zoning. And you can see that, all of these houses, they're all similar in nature to the rest of Hilltop. They're all about 5,000 to 6,000 square feet in size. They've got the 5-foot setbacks, the 15 in the rear. And these parcels have the split zoning. So the front has those setbacks, but the rear doesn't. And this is the rear yard of the parcel that made the request. So you can see that it's level. This is where they removed a tree and where they would place the carport. And the picture to the right shows the neighboring parcel, so that sort of level area continues. And let's see. So this RE20 to the north, that's more appropriate for the larger setbacks. These are large lots and they can handle the large setbacks. And these, just isn't justified for these parcels. And so the existing zoning for this R16 zone, you can see that the front parcels have the R16 and they've got the split zoning, which makes it hard. There won't be any new residential development. This is really to facilitate things like a shed, garage, carport, a workshop, things like that. So it's not going to actually increase the development. It's just going to make it more convenient, nicer arrangement of those outbuildings. And, it will bring these parcels into consistency with what their neighbors are able to do. and just make it more, really a cleaner map. It's difficult to apply zoning standards when we get requests, when there is a split zoning. It just, it really isn't that logical to have a split zoning. So we do try to eliminate those when it makes sense. And then because general plans and zoning maps need to be consistent with each other. So the general plan is the larger, the overarching map or land use plan that establishes the more general zones. And then, so in this case, the RE20 zone is consistent with the residential very low general plan designation. And the R16 zone, the smaller zones, is consistent with the RL residential low zone. So we do need to do a general plan amendment as well, just to maintain that consistency. And again, there won't be, in doing general plan amendments, we consider the density. If we're changing the density, if we're increasing the density, we have to do a little bit more analysis, because the whole general plan concept is based on density, one of the factors. And then the environmental impact report for the general plan is also based on that certain density. So you have to go through some more hoops and do a little more analysis as far as impacts, environmental impacts, and growth projections and things like that when you do increase density. But in this case, because the parcels are already created and already developed, there will not be an increase in density or the number of parcels. And in fact, these parcels won't even be able to be split anymore, because the minimum lot size is 6,000 square feet. So we know for certain that there won't be any increase in density. So that kind of makes it a cleaner or more simple decision. Let's see, I think that's all I have. So if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer those. And staff does recommend that the Planning Commission vote to, this is a recommendation to the council. So this would not be a final decision, and it goes to the council. Zoning amendments do go to the council for the final action. So thank you.
Thank you, Liz. Okay, anybody have any questions for Liz? All right, gonna open it to public comment now. Go ahead. So we're gonna open up public comment. Katie will flash that information again. Liz, I would figured you guys let everybody around there know what you guys are doing.
Yes, we certainly did send out the property notices within 300 feet, 10 days prior to the meeting. And we did have some calls and some questions. We reached out to the 5 additional parcels that would get the reduced setbacks, and everybody was glad about that. So they were in support of the rezone.
Anybody have any discussion on this while we're waiting?
Seems pretty straightforward.
I think you gave a great summary as to why we're doing it. There's no reason not to approve it.
Yeah.
So the only,
Cleaning up some things we should have done at the beginning.
only question I have is, what does it raise or lower your property value?
I would think that it would increase the property value.
I would too, but just asking.
Oh,
Probably increase the tax levels too.
yeah.
Katie, we hit anybody seeing anything? No? Okay, looking for a motion to close.
I'll make the motion to close public comment at this time.
I'll second.
Perfect. Okay, so back to you folks. Anybody have any questions, comments, want to make a motion, anything like that?
Well, I'll make a motion. I'll make the motion to adopt resolution number P dash 2021-3069. A resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Fortuna, recommendation to the City Council for a zoning amendment of 6 parcels from residential estates RE 20 to residential single family R1-6, and a general plan amendment from residential very low RVL to residential low RL.
I'll second that.
Okay, Katie.
All right, roll call vote. Commissioner Blakely,
Yes.
Commissioner Bradley,
Yes.
Commissioner Hallie,
Yes.
Chairman Mobley,
Yes.
Vice Chair Rogers,
yes,
Chairman Sights,
Yes.
Commissioner Sights, sorry, and Commissioner.
Yes.
All right, there we go. Moving on to the next order of business. Public hearing to consider approval of a lot line adjustment to create a straight property line along the common boundary of 2 lots, resulting in a 28.6 acre and an 8.1 acre lot. Can we get background on this one, please?
Yes. Thank you again, commissioners, for your time and consideration of these projects that are, very important to just orderly development and important to the property owners and the parties involved. So we appreciate your time. And I will go ahead and share the screen again. Get back to the. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this, the applicant is, the property owner is the Eel River Valley Community Center Foundation. And the, I guess the co-applicant would be the City of Fortuna. The property is owned by the Eel River Valley Community Center. And of course, they are the ones who developed, I think that's the name of their newly formed property ownership entity. But of course, they did construct the Gene Lucas Community Center and the Senior Center, and created the wetlands. So, that we all enjoy now. This is located to the east or southeast of Newburgh Park. This is Newburgh Road on the top and Ronerville Road at the bottom. And you can see it kind of wraps around, their property kind of wraps around Newburgh Park, and they own both parcels. And this is kind of a remainder that was not developed as part of the community center. And there's always been discussion of the city acquiring that property. And the city manager is in negotiations with the foundation, the Eel River Valley Foundation, to, just determine the price and the details and things like that. But that's definitely moving forward. There aren't any complications. And we do expect it to move forward. And so the property line is delineating between the two is the solid line here. Actually, but it makes an odd triangle piece down at the bottom of that parcel. And really, it's just to clean it up and create a straight line. The city is in the process of applying for grants for development of the lower parcel for expansion of Newburgh Park. So there's all kinds of exciting components of that park, including expansion of the ball fields and soccer fields and skate park and additional trails, a connecting trail from Ronerville Road to the wetlands, and a trail around one day there'll be a trail around Newburgh Park, which people enjoy that anyway. It's just going to all be kind of come together as soon as the city gets funding, which we definitely expect to do. So let's see. Oh, here's a better view. You can see the wetlands, and this is earlier in development. Of course, these two buildings are constructed now, and you can see Strong's Creek along the perimeter there. And this is, oh, and you can kind of have a better view here of the sort of misshapen parcel. It looks like this is an old section line and it's kind of a leftover piece, and the Newburgh Road was probably carved out, or Newburgh Park. So it's kind of how these odd shapes get created. So it's really just to straighten this piece out, and everybody is in agreement with it and there aren't any issues. So as far as any potential issues, kind of the things that we look at on lot line adjustments, things for consideration. Again, there won't be any increase in the number of parcels or the change in density as a result of the lot line adjustment. So that kind of pushes it into maybe the administrative realm rather than a discretionary, something with environmental impacts or anything like that as resulting from increased density. Each parcel will still have access. So we look, when we're considering lot line adjustments, does the new line block any access or block any utilities, any easements, things like that? So that's why we do take a really careful look at these, from an engineering, and we refer these to the utility agencies to make sure they don't have any interest in or anything that would be affected by a new property line. And we also have the city surveyor review the title report and to see if there are any easements that show up that might be affected. We don't want to block access to any easements. If so, what we would do is really, make sure access is created. So sometimes they do have to create a new easement to maintain access. But in this case, there aren't any impediments to the use of this property or either property. Zoning won't be affected. We're not creating any split zoning. It's all public facility and public general plan designation. Not subject to CEQA. There is a CEQA exemption for minor alterations and land use limitations, which include lot line adjustments that don't create any new parcel. So let's see. Oh, there's the zoning map, public facility, and then again, the lot line adjustment plot plan. And this does show all of the existing easements, so we can see it, and any utilities. So we can see that there's nothing being impeded. Here's a detail, and this shows the property line to be deleted and the property line to be added. So with that, I will pass it back to the Planning Commission to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Liz. Any questions or comments? Okay, open it up to public comment. So Katie's gonna put us back up on the board one more time. Let everybody see it. And there you go. Anybody have any comments, questions on what's going on with this? Please call in. See if we can answer questions for you. While that is going on, any of the commissioners have any concerns to talk about with this?
I had a quick question. Katie, or was it Katie or no? Anyways, in the presentation, when I was reading, there's something about grants. Is this going to help us get grants with this adjustment?
Not really. I think the portion is too small to really, it doesn't impair, or prohibit any actual development of the park. It's just something through the negotiation process. It was just decided that, that triangle piece that projects into the future Newburgh Park expansion, it's just an awkward triangle that, that isn't going to.
I understand. I just noticed up here in the one page, it says the city's applying for grants to fund future development of recreational activities at the site. I didn't know if the site size mattered for us to be able to qualify for some of those grants, and that's my question.
Yeah, no, that's a good question, and it does not, it's not really affected. It doesn't affect the grant opportunity.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Katie, we seeing anything, hearing anybody? Nope.
I'll make the motion to close public comment at this time.
I'll
Okay.
second that.
Thank y'all. All right, back to you folks. If nobody's got any more on this, looking for a motion.
I'll make the motion to adopt resolution number P-2021-3067. A resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Fortuna approving a lot line adjustment for the Eel River Valley Community Center Foundation.
I'll second that.
All right, roll call vote. Commissioner Blakely,
Yes.
Commissioner Bradley,
Yes.
Yes.
Chairman Mobley,
Yes.
Vice Chair Rogers,
Yes.
Commissioner Stites,
Yes.
and Commissioner Wells.
Yes.
Right. Good job, everybody. All right, Liz, we have any correspondence? Anybody, anything you want to bring up, want to talk about?
Just to let you know, a heads up, we do have some kind of big things coming up in the near future. Another rezone, this one is of the Newburgh Road, Wernerville, where the new police facility is. That's in a commercial zone, and we want to clean that up and create a public facility zone to basically allow, really make it clean zoning. And we will have probably a preliminary site plan for the police department facility to share with you. So that's really exciting. That is underway. So they do, the city does plan to upgrade the site, do a small expansion of about, I think, 900 square feet, and landscaping and nice new fencing and, good access and things like that. So cities and interior, mostly it's an interior remodel to bring all of the, the facilities inside up to their standards for, their safety activities. So that will be on the Planning Commission meeting. And then the other one is, what was that? Oh, a conditional use permit for Recology. So they have increased their tonnage, and so we're reviewing their use permit from the 1990s, and they're working through it with the health department. Actually got their approval from the health department, but to be perfectly set, they do need to make that increase in tonnage consistent with their existing conditional use permit. So that will be on the agenda as well. So if anybody's not able to be at a meeting, let us know so we can make sure we have a quorum. And we really appreciate your participation and your time out to take care of this business.
So Larry, you'll be handling that one.
Oh,
I think Chris will have to recuse himself for
I
obvious
will- I
reasons.
will- I will have to.
Larry's on the hot seat.
Yep. If it doesn't go through, it's your fault.
For Liz, Mr. Chairman, is before recent changes with our public health department, the city council was on track to have in-person meetings. You want to just give us an update on that perhaps, and how that impacts us also?
I have some information on that. Liz, do you?
yeah, thank you, Katie.
So the hope is to do a hybrid meeting so that people can still participate via Zoom. That's going to require some upgrades to our technology here. And being a jurisdiction, the purchasing process has hit a few roadblocks. It's going to take a little while longer. We had hoped to be in person and hybrid by this meeting. I'm not sure what the ETA is now, hopefully by the end of the month, maybe the beginning of September. Once the city council is able to do it, once we have the equipment, I will let you guys know. City council will do the meetings first, and then planning commission and the other boards and commissions will follow.
Thanks.
Sounds like a plan. All right, anybody else got everything going on? If not, we're looking for a motion.
I'll make the motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Katie, one more time, if you will.
All right, roll call vote. Commissioner Blakely,
Absolutely.
Commissioner Bradley,
I'll mirror Mr. Blakely, absolutely.
Commissioner Hallie,
Yes.
Chairman Mobley,
Yes, please.
Vice Chair Rogers,
Yes.
Commissioner Seitz,
Yes.
and Commissioner Wells.
Yes.
All right, well, thanks, everybody. Really appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Liz and Katie, for all the work you guys do too. We really appreciate that as well.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Chris, you gonna join me? You gonna stay at home?
I'm